Good evening, folks. Welcome to the air tonight. I had just gotten into my robe and I was going to have a nice nightcap. Something comforting, not too high on the nicotine level, just a comfort blend. And I was going to go with one of my go-tos, which happens to be Boswell's Northwoods. So, today in the air tonight, we'll have some Northwoods by Boswell's. Now, I am doing this review because I was just kind of getting cozy. I'm in my robe, and I was going to smoke this anyway, so I figured, hey, why not? Northwoods is an awesome blend from a pretty beloved company, Boswell's. People like Boswell's not just because of their tobacco blends, but because of their handmade pipes. And since I've got this on screen, I might as well tell you a little bit about it. This is a Boswell twist. Now, a lot of folks right now who are getting into Boswell pipes might be pretty familiar with the shotgun shell Boswells. This isn't a shotgun shell, but a lot of them have shotgun shells incorporated where you screw the stem into the pipe. And those are really cool, but Boswell used to be known for these twists, and these twists are really, really, really cool. I love them, and I actually got this pipe right before New Year's Eve. I drove from Cleveland, Ohio to Boswell's in Pennsylvania in a blizzard, and actually got into a car accident. Thankfully, nothing happened, but this woman must not have seen me in the left lane, and she went to merge into the left lane and slowly tapped my vehicle, and then we kind of like bounced off of each other. There was absolutely no mark on my car or her car. It was as if it happened in slow motion, and I got right back in the vehicle and just, again, going straight to Boswell. So my wife was like, "You're acting crazy. Why are you so obsessed with this?" And I said, "Because I get a Boswell every single year around Christmas when I come out to Cleveland, Ohio, and visit her family. Her family's based out of there. And I always do the drive, and I go get a Boswell pipe." And so I've got about 7 Boswell pipes, all from this kind of Christmas time. And it's an important ritual to me, and nothing is going to stop that, not even a blizzard. I've got a Boswell Bing's favorite. I've got some of the shotgun shell ones. I've got a jumbo. And this is my first twist. And if I could do it all over again, I would just get these twists. And I'll tell you why. When you close your eyes and you feel this thing, it is the most tactile pipe you will ever feel. I mean, goodness gracious, if I was a blind person just picking out a pipe, I would grab this one. It just feels so good in the hand. And a pipe is something that you're holding on to for a long time, so you want something that just feels good in the hand. It's so ergonomic anyway I hold it. It almost gives you a little hand massage there. And we're back. So, sorry about that. Wife wanted to tell me that the neighbor's car was being towed. It's a small town, and drama, wherever you can get it. It's entertainment. Anyway, so Boswell pipes, awesome. Get a twist if you can. You won't regret it. Let's talk a little bit about Northwoods, the comfort blend, the cozy old robe that you got from Mexico in 2012 and you wear all the time. Sorry, I know that's oddly specific, but this robe and this pipe tobacco goes hand in hand. Also, look at the little Northwoods image right there. That is cool. When I lived in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, it was a little bit more rainforesty. I'd go out and I'd smoke Northwoods. Now, one reason why people, as I pack this pipe, one reason why people really like Northwoods is also a reason why some folks might not like Northwoods. So let's get into that. Northwoods has Cavendish in it and a little bit of vanilla undertones. I can tell you that right now because I've smoked more of this than you could shake a stick at. Now, some people even would consider it to be an aromatic. I'm kind of one of those people where I unapologetically call things aromatic if they have any type of like additive to them or topping or sweetener. Like I would even call Sun Bear an aromatic. Maybe that's not so controversial. But Northwoods definitely has some vanilla in it, so I'd call it like an English aromatic. Actually, that's probably an oxymoron because originally English blends didn't have any artificial toppings. So you probably couldn't even call this an English blend. But either way, it's got Latakia in it. And what it smells like on the nose, and let's do that real quick, is a nice, relaxing evening by the campfire. I know Latakia always smells smoky, but this particularly smells like a campfire, especially a campfire in Idaho. I could almost get sagebrush and the smoke from the campfire and some sweetness from some s'mores that are roasting over top of the fire. It's a lovely, pleasant smell, and I think that if you really like smokiness, this is one that you could get away with. Smoke it inside around the wife, and she might not want to, neuter you for smoking this in the house. Your mileage may vary. Don't come blaming me if she gets upset with you. But anyway, let's light this up, and I'll get back to you, and I'll try and give you some toasting notes. But we'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, it tastes very similar to the way that it smells. Well. I am enjoying the woodsy, earthy, creamy, refreshing flavor of Boswell's Northwoods. I get earth, I should say. Smoky campfire. And vanilla that almost tastes like s'mores. Smells like burnt marshmallows to me. It kind of has that taste. A slight zymic, bitter taste in the background, but that's a good bitter taste. Good zymic flavor that comes from aged tobacco. And this Northwoods that I'm smoking right now is about 3 years old. What I like about Northwoods is it is just super consistent throughout the bowl. Not rough around the edges at all. Smooth and creamy all the way through. A great blend to choose for anybody who's interested in getting into some Latakia blends. This, and I'd say Northwoods Northwest Trek, the Country Squire, which is a little bit less Latakia and a little bit more on the aromatic side. Really good contemplative smoke. Great for a nightcap when you've already taken a shower, you don't want to smell too bad, and you also don't need anything too high in nicotine before bedtime. And a great partner to any beer. In fact, philosophy of use. It was just a great fall weather. Drinking beers. Outside blend. I would smoke this in Leavenworth, Washington, if you could get away with it. I know Washington's a little bit weird with smoking laws these days. But I would get one of the balcony hotels facing the main drag in Leavenworth in the wintertime when it should be a little less expensive for a room. And I'd overlook all the Christmas lights and the Bavarian architecture with the mountains in the background. After having a few pints of beer. Maybe a couple in your hotel room too. That'd be a great time. It was a good mountaineering blend too. Maybe you could hike up to Kolchak Lake and see one of the most beautiful hikes in America, and an absolutely stunning alpine lake, and smoke this up there. Not a bad summer camping blend either. Out west when that temperature starts to drop. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful blend. I mean, it's great for what it is. A cozy little sweater of a blend that you don't have to think too hard about. Now, this Boswell's Northwoods is 3 years old, like I said. I have seen some variation in Northwoods over the years. I got a blend in, or I got a few ounces in right around, I want to say 2020. And it had a really weird chemically taste to it that I wasn't a fan of. It's the only time that's happened to me with Northwoods, and I tossed it. But I have seen 1 or 2 negative reviews out of the tons of positive reviews where somebody around the same time had said that there was a chemically, almost plasticky taste to it. And I got that same bad batch. I don't know if it was because old man Boswell was in between suppliers or changing up the blend to conform with FDA regulations. There's a lot of different changes in pipe tobacco. I don't know what it was, but that was, yeah, if that was my first introduction to Northwoods, I would have never smoked it again. So if you're that guy and you maybe had it around that time and didn't like it, I'd say give it another shot. Even though this particular mason jar is filled with a 3-year-old Northwoods, I actually just got a new batch of Northwoods, and I smoked that yesterday with a couple of buddies, and it was fantastic. So no issues there. Look, it happens. And quality control can be hard when you're a small shop, and some of the places that you're sourcing your tobacco from change, and regulations about what you can put in your tobacco changes. Anyway. On that retro hill, I get a little bit of mushroomy funk with some vanilla and cedar wood and some oakiness. A little bit of smoke too, but not as smoky as it smells or tastes. It's actually wonderfully complex on the retro hail. And it's so Northwoods. I mean, I feel like you could blindfold me. give me 100 different tobaccos and you put Northwoods in one bowl, and I'll immediately know it's Northwoods within a few puffs. It's very distinct. That woodsy earthiness with that creaminess and that sweetness. It's just very, very cool. Well, anyway, I don't want to lie to you. I said that I would pair this with beer, and I grabbed a beer that I thought might be a good little pairing here. This is a Lagunitas Sugar, and this has got some hops to it and some brown sugar, and I think this will go really well with this Northwoods. And I've got it on good authority that it does, actually, because I was drinking it last night and smoking Northwoods. So not drinking a lot of it, but I had one. And I figured I'd do a little taste testing here with the two of them together. Oh yeah. That creamy, sweet, woodsy Northwoods would pair really well with a pale ale, a nice refreshing pale ale, or a brown ale that's got a little bit of hoppiness to it. It goes good. I think, even an IPA, you wouldn't think to pair the two of them together. Some creaminess and some sweet, earthy woodsiness with hops, but it's enough that both of them kind of refresh your palate after you take a sip of it. They're kind of opposites, but they don't clash. They're complementary. That's what I would do. I would go get a nice beer, maybe something that isn't an IPA but has some hoppiness to it, like a brown ale that's on the hoppier side, or even like red ale, and then I would grab some Northwoods and give it a smoke in your garage, and maybe listen to some 90s alternative. That would be a good pairing too. Stained, maybe some Creed. Don't judge. This was back in the day. Men didn't need therapy. They just listened to Creed's My Own Prison album, and they smoked Northwoods and drank a pale ale in the garage, and they were good to go. No, I'm just kidding. There's some problems that even Creed can't fix. So, if you've got those, go to therapy. But this might help a little bit, so give it a shot too. Anyway, thanks for sticking with this goofy review of Boswell's Northwoods. I hope you liked it. Thanks for sticking around, and cheers. Boop.